Makadi, Dumelang, habari. Jina langu ni Rugare Mugumbate, Journal Manager for Journal of Ubuntu. In this short video, I'll talk about why we publish, why we research. This is important information for writers, editors, and reviewers. First, I'll talk about the stages of researching and publishing. Stage number one, identifying a knowledge gap. So publishing is about filling knowledge gaps. Number two, planning to gather or create the information. So when you have identified the gap, you need a plan about how you are going to gather the information or how you are going to create the information. Then you go to stage number three, that's gathering and creating the information to fill the gap. So there are two issues here. Gathering information, so you gather information from other people or from the environment. But you can also create information as a researcher or as a writer through your own thinking or experience. Stage number four, reporting new information and using it, or making others use that information. Then stage number five, update the information, follow up on how it is being used, respond to questions or queries, criticism, and improve it. So for this to happen, the information should be reported in ways that it can be used by others. So when you do your report, the implications of what you are reporting should be very clear. So that's an important thing that the Journal of Ubuntu is looking for in the articles that it accepts for publication. But why do we research and publish? We research and publish to solve our problems or to cover a gap in knowledge. We also research and publish to change things, to change processes and improve policies, to develop new things or make them better. We also research to showcase Africa's knowledge and how it can solve problems locally, but also globally. To show the usefulness of indigenous decolonized knowledges and thinking, that's an important reason, that's why we research. Then lastly, to communicate knowledge and solutions with contemporaries, our peers, but also with future generations. So that's why we research and publish. So what are we looking for as a journal? We are looking at articles or manuscripts that clearly show that the problem being investigated or that was investigated is a problem of Africa's society and it impacts Africa's aspirations. We are also looking for journal articles that value Africa's literature, including Africa's orature throughout. We are also looking for clarity of philosophy, the values, the theories that are the basis of the problem that you have investigated, or the assumptions that you have made, or the methods that you have utilized. We are also interested in reports that clearly show how data was gathered, or information was created or analyzed. And reports or research manuscripts that are a result of thorough investigation and analysis in ways that are ethical. Then lastly, we're looking for reports presented in formats accessible to populations of Africa, including stories, metaphors, songs, artifacts, and also, more importantly, in the languages of Africa. I'll talk about the three parts of a manuscript. For the Journal of Ubuntu, we limit our manuscripts to 5,000 words. This ensures that writers synthesize information strongly, but also that we reduce the workload of editors and reviewers. So a manuscript will have three parts. Part number one, or moja, is the cover or the first page. We call this kwanza in Swahili. Should be one page, just one page. And there is a video that talks about what a cover page should contain. Then mbili is the body of the manuscript. We call it muviri in Swahili. So this should be about 10 pages. It can be 9, it can be 8, it can be 11 or 12 pages, but this should be single-spaced. Then tatu, that's your chanzo in Swahili, the list of references, the list of sources should be 1 to 2 pages or between 15 and 30 sources. It's important that writers adhere to these guidelines to submit a manuscript that can win the hearts of editors and reviewers. So I'll end by giving you a checklist for a well-written manuscript. So it starts with the cover page. Ask yourself, is my title well crafted? Is the abstract the best summary of the manuscript? So the title and the abstract are found on the cover page, and there is a video that talks about crafting a cover page. Look at the reason or motivation for researching or publishing. Is it strong? We look at it and we ask ourselves, is this a strong reason why this research was done or why this publication has been submitted? Then number 4, we ask ourselves, is the manuscript within word limit? So please ask yourself that as well. 5,000 words for Journal of Ubuntu. Then is the manuscript the recommended font type, size, color, spacing, paragraphing, and headings? Those are very important issues. We take font size 10 to 12. Font color should be black. Font type, you can choose any readable font, but not design fonts. Spacing should be single. Then we are also looking for paragraphing and headings that is consistent with the Africa Social Work Development Network guidelines that we use for publishing. Then number 6 is Africa's literature and orature the majority in all sections of the manuscript, including the background, the literature review, the methods, and the discussion. Often, writers think that the methods should not cite or it's not necessary to cite or to use African literature in the methods. It is very necessary, actually. You should be doing it. If you don't find adequate African literature, explain things from your own understanding and even create the methods that are missing or that are not there in the literature. Then lastly, we ask ourselves, are all sections clear and strong? And please ask yourself that question before you submit. Is your background clear? The results, are they clear? The analysis, the findings, the discussion, and the implications, all this should be clear and strong. So these are the questions to ask yourselves before you submit. This is your checklist. I am going to end here. Kanimambo. Sikomo kwambili murakoze keleboka maitabasa. Asante sana.